Well, I'll throw you in the deep end with Anthony Watson. It wasn't necessarily unexpected, was it? But a great shame that a career was curtailed in the way it was, because for 4 or 5 years he was electric with England and one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah, I mean, quite a prolific strike rate and tremendous athlete. He seemed to be, his career towards the end was truncated by injuries to quite a large extent. But we saw, when he came through and clinched a place on that 2017 Lions tour in the Test side, we really started to see what he was capable of. Not just for England, but at that really rarefied level, and how dangerous he was. He was electrifying, really. At times his pace was unbelievable, but also his ability to find gaps. And the combination of he and Johnny May for a long time gave England real strike power at a time where, they were up and down in the latter period of the Eddie Jones era. But yeah, a great loss, and another example of the fact that nobody gets to go out, or very few people get to go out of the game in the way in which they would like to, and that's certainly been the case with Anthony.
Yeah, it was quite harrowing in the way he described his last game. It was at Sale Sharks, where he basically said he was sharing a room with Handré Pollard, and his back was in so much pain that he woke up that night, 4 a.m., laced himself with painkillers, and just had to soldier on. And I didn't actually watch that game, I'll confess, but I'd imagine he was a pedestrian for most of it. And it's a shame to see a player who, tore defenses to shreds. That game against Scotland in the Six Nations springs to mind as one. Brendan, Nick mentioned pace, and you and I were just speaking off air about, England speedsters or lack of in relation to some of our backs at the moment. Anthony Watson had the ability to stop and start almost on cue, which meant that you always had the feeling in a one-on-one he could get around his man.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was a terrific athlete. And he had that also, not just stopping starting, he had that rare ability, which only a few have, as sort of accelerating into the sidestep, which sort of doubles the effectiveness of it. So it's like he sort of slingshots out of the sidestep. And I mean, if you think he had not one, but 2 Achilles go, you might get back from one, you don't get back from 2. And who knows? I dare say that has jigged up the back, that causes back problems. It all starts building, and he's still only 30. So the last 3 years, he's done incredibly well to play any rugby.